The cold morning wind brushed against her face as Evelyn stepped out of her black sedan, clutching a single white lily in her trembling hands. The cemetery was quiet, painfully quiet, except for the soft hum of the wind threading through the trees. She had been here every Sunday for the past 3 years, always at the same time, always in the same suit. The world knew her as Evelyn Carter, the woman who built an empire from nothing, the CEO of one of the biggest marketing firms in California. But here, in this small corner of the world, she was just a mother, a broken one. As she walked toward her son's grave, her polished heels pressed into the damp earth. The marble headstone gleamed faintly under the pale morning light. Lucas Carter, beloved son and dreamer. 2007-2022. She knelt down, her breath shaking. "Hey, sweetheart," she whispered. "It's Mom." Again. She tried to smile, the way she used to when he brought home messy art projects from school. But the smile never stayed. It had been 3 years since the accident. The day a reckless driver ran a red light and shattered her world. Lucas had been only 15. The police said he didn't suffer, but Evelyn did. "Every day, remember how you used to say you wanted to go to Spain?" she said softly, brushing her fingers across the cold stone. "You wanted to see the beaches, the music, the people dancing in the streets. Maybe one day I'll go for you." She didn't notice the figures a few rows away. A young woman kneeling beside another grave, her shoulders shaking, a little girl clinging to her arm. It wasn't until the child's soft sobs carried through the air that Evelyn turned her head. The woman had olive skin, long dark hair, and wore a faded shawl around her shoulders. Her eyes were red and swollen, and she kept whispering something in Spanish, words Evelyn couldn't understand. The little girl beside her looked about 7 or 8, holding a small teddy bear, whispering, "Mama, no lores, por favor." Evelyn's instinct was to look away. Grief was private, sacred. But something about the woman's pain, it mirrored her own. She wanted to approach her, to say something, anything. But years of boardrooms and isolation had made her forget how to connect. So, she just watched silently. When the woman finally noticed her, their eyes met. For a brief moment, 2 mothers, from 2 worlds, shared the same wound. No words, just a raw understanding that only those who have buried a child could ever know. Later that day, as Evelyn prepared to leave, she noticed the little girl struggling to place flowers on the grave. Without thinking, she walked over and helped her fix the bouquet. "Gracias," the child said timidly, her accent thick. Evelyn smiled, her heart softening. "That's beautiful," she said gently. "Who are the flowers for?" "My papa," the little girl replied, pointing at the grave. "He was policia. He tried to help people." Evelyn's throat tightened. The Spanish woman, her mother, looked up, her tears still fresh. "Thank you," she murmured in broken English. "You kind." Evelyn nodded, unsure why she suddenly felt her heart ache even more. "I'm Evelyn," she said quietly. "And this is my son." The woman's gaze shifted to Lucas's grave. She pressed her hand to her chest. "I'm Maria," she said. "My husband, he died 1 year ago. We moved here from Madrid. New life, but..." She looked down. Hard, Evelyn understood. Too well. "Yes," she whispered. "It's hard." The 2 women stood there, strangers connected by loss, while the little girl played quietly between them. For the first time in years, Evelyn didn't feel completely alone. Over the next few weeks, Evelyn kept returning to the cemetery, and each time so did Maria and her daughter, Sophia. What began as silent nods grew into brief conversations, then shared coffee, then laughter that felt foreign but healing. Maria spoke about her husband, Javier, a kind police officer who died saving a child during a robbery. Evelyn shared stories of Lucas, his curiosity, his dream to travel the world, his silly sense of humor. Slowly, Evelyn began to feel something she thought she'd buried with her son. Hope. One afternoon, while sitting on a bench near the graves, Maria looked at Evelyn and said, "You are a strong woman, yes?" "Businesswoman?" Evelyn chuckled. "Something like that." Maria smiled faintly. "I need job. Cleaning, cooking, anything?" For Sophia, Evelyn hesitated. She hadn't offered anyone a job personally in years. She had HR for that. But something about Maria's trembling hands made her say, "Come to my office tomorrow. We'll figure something out." That decision changed everything. Maria began working as an office assistant, quiet, careful, always grateful. Sophia often waited in Evelyn's office after school, coloring while Evelyn worked late. It reminded her of Lucas sitting on the floor years ago, drawing superheroes while she took conference calls. Sometimes, Evelyn would glance at the drawing and feel that familiar ache. But now, it didn't hurt quite as much. One evening, after everyone had gone home, Maria approached Evelyn's desk. "I see you." "Smile now," she said softly. "Lucas would like that." Evelyn blinked back tears. "Maybe he sent you," she whispered. "Both of you." Months passed. Evelyn helped Maria get permanent residency, enrolled Sophia in a better school, and even sponsored a small art scholarship in Lucas's name. During the ceremony, Sophia gave Evelyn a hand-drawn picture of two women standing beside two graves, holding hands, with a sun rising behind them. Beneath it, in shaky handwriting, were the words, "From sadness, we made a new family." Evelyn broke down. She realized that love never truly dies. It transforms. Her son's dream of kindness and connection had found new life through Maria and Sophia. A year later, on Lucas's birthday, the three of them stood together by his grave, Maria holding a bouquet of lilies, Sophia reading a short letter she had written. Evelyn looked up at the bright blue sky and whispered, "You did it! Lucas, you brought me back." As they walked away, hand in hand, the camera could have lingered on the graves. One for a boy, one for a man, side by side, marked by loss but surrounded by blooming flowers. Because sometimes, the most unexpected encounters are not coincidences. They are the quiet miracles that remind us, even in the deepest grief, love still finds a way to bloom again. Would you like me to make this version longer, about 100 minutes worth, a full YouTube screenplay-style story with dialogues and cinematic pacing? It would deepen the emotions, add flashbacks, and create a complete ending that feels movie-like.